Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're doing good and well. So it's time for a slightly one-off type of video on the channel really. Another little bit of a ranty type video. I mean, I did one of these fairly recently on a totally different topic, but you know what, I just thought there's something, if you've got something to say, I mean, part of the point of this video is if you've got something to say, then feel free to say it. Obviously, I'm going to explain a bit more about what I'm talking about here, but the simple message of this video is honesty and being honest about how you feel about something, whether it's art, whatever kind of art it is. I'm part of a number of different communities on YouTube. I'm part of this whole sort of, the whole rock and metal scene. I'm a very small part of it, to be honest, but I'm part of that. And you've also got, I follow a lot of film review channels, a lot of film review channels I absolutely love, by the way, and a lot of booktube channels as well that I love. And YouTube is, offers a huge amount. And I am grateful for my place within this wider community. So that's where we get the nice stuff out the way, right? But here's the thing, for me, and I think it's an important message, and it's not really to sort of target, certainly not to target anyone in particular. And I think the importance of this message is just to remind people, really, even if it's going to come across as like slightly patronizing, and that's not the intention either. This is something that I have to tell myself sometimes. But I think it's really important to be as honest as you can when you're reacting and reviewing things. And it's such a basic thing, but I think in YouTube worlds, and in this community, I think sometimes it would be easy to lose that. I think there's lots of pressure on this platform to pander to the masses sometimes, but also sometimes to just be hateful for the sake of it too. And it's like those extremes, those polarities of what pull in attention, what pull in rewards, even on this platform. And it doesn't really, for me, it's not helpful. What I'm saying is I think it's really important to be truthful about how you feel about something. When it comes to art, I'm sure artists themselves appreciate that not everyone's going to feel the same way about their work, whether it's an album, a book, or a film, or whatever it is. And it's, those are usually the things I'm talking about, mostly albums and films on this channel. And yes, there is criticism and honesty. You still want to try and be respectful. If you're speaking negatively of something, I mean, I usually like to think most of the time I try and be respectful if I am sort of criticising something. And I think, of course, you're going to get people that aren't respectful. People are passionate as well, and there's a distinction between passion as well and being, I would say the word is maybe malicious, being malicious about things and being insulting to somebody when that's not really necessary. And I think, this is the thing for me, is criticism is really important. It's really important to be honest with each other as far as we can. And there's nothing wrong with respectful disagreement. I'm all for respectful disagreement. I think that can make things interesting as well. I mean, I think, again, I'm going to stress, if we all reacted to everything in exactly the same way, I think this world would be kind of weird, and the human element would almost be removed. We'd almost live in this world of, everybody being thinking of everything in exactly the same way. I mean, I don't think that makes for a good world, or a world where people learn. So here's the thing. I mean, that's important for me. I mean, you don't want a world where everyone thinks of art or everything exactly the same, because no one learns anything really that way. For me, for me personally, right, just to bring this into this video, I mean, I've had lots of criticism in my life. Some of it fair, some of it I would say unfair. Again, that's kind of my own opinion. That's my own criticism of the critique I've had. Some of it I regret that I didn't address or didn't take on board that honest criticism, because I think it would have actually helped me at the time. Other times and maybe I was childish as well when I received said criticism when I was whatever it was in my life. But also, there's criticism which you can also you don't have to agree with it all, of course. As an artist, if you're an artist out there watching this video, course you don't have to agree with the reviews I do. I mean, that's not really the purpose of the reviews, as I say. It's to get different opinions, different views discussed, and I don't expect everybody to agree with my 10 out of 10 for Unleash the Archers, for example. I'm sure there were many people that didn't agree with that. I also don't expect people to necessarily agree with the lower score I gave for the Goth Minister album, the 5 out of 10 that I recently gave as well. I'm sure there are people that disagree with that review too. But the point is that, you know, it's being honest about how you feel about something, and you know, if you love something, that's great. Say it. If you hate something, okay, that's fine as well. But you sort of, I feel that there feels like there's this pressure. There is this pressure to, I think, whether or not people even may not agree with this, you know, this or me saying this, but I feel like there's this pressure, and it's a pressure to do things that you don't really necessarily want to do, or a pressure to sort of say things that you don't really feel about something, just to sort of pander to the masses, or to, you know, just for the sake of praising an artist for the sake of it, instead of saying what you really feel. And that might be to get, you know, likes and so we all want the validation. I think we all seek out reactions, and that's absolutely fine. And we all want that validation. We all want people to, you know, for example, we want people to like and sub to our channels. I think that's normal. But I think that it's got to, for me, I prefer to do that in a more natural way. And yeah, I suppose that's why I've only got, what, 500 subscribers, or however many I've got at the moment. But you know, I just feel there's just something weird about, you know, and this is social media across the board. It's not just YouTube at all. This is like social media across the board. The loudest voices getting heard, the extreme views being the ones that are most present, or the ones that feed into your algorithms the most, are the loudest, most extreme views, politically as well. I don't want to really get into politics, but, you know, you have that too. You have extreme politics that sort of doesn't go anywhere else but the extremes. Yeah, anyway, I mean, I've said a lot of obvious things here, and I don't think I've said anything really much new, perhaps anything that's really not adding anything much new to this whole conversation. But yeah, criticism and honesty, they're kind of underrated, and they're important still. Don't ever feel that you always have to praise something. Equally, don't ever feel that you always have to feel some particular way about something if that's not how you feel about it. It's really important. Keep that honesty. Stay as true to yourself as you can, because no one else is going to do that for you. So thanks very much for watching, everybody, and until next time, it's bye for now.